Your brain isn't lazy. It's just been trained to associate hard work with pain instead of reward. And I'm about to show you how to rewire that in the next 30 seconds. Because people who crave difficulty don't have more willpower, they've just hacked their brain's reward system to make hard things feel like the easy choice. The method. Number 1. Dopamine fasting. Not the internet version. The real one. You're not removing all pleasure from your life. You're removing the cheap hits that make real effort feel impossible by comparison. Picture this. You spend an hour scrolling TikTok, then try to study. Your brain screams no because you just gave it 1,000 micro rewards for doing nothing. Studies show high dopamine activities raise your baseline so much that normal tasks feel like torture. The fix? Before any hard task, do 30 minutes of literally nothing. No phone, no music, no stimulation. But this is just the surface. Number 2. Friction removal. Hard things feel harder when there's any barrier to starting, even tiny ones. You want to write, but your laptop is in another room. You want to work out, but your gym clothes are buried. So you don't. And your brain learns hard thing equals obstacle equals avoid. Every barrier between you and the task is a decision point where your brain can quit. The fix? Set up your environment the night before so starting requires 0 decisions. And here's where it gets interesting. Number 3. Identity shift. You don't crave things that contradict who you think you are. If you see yourself as not a morning person, waking up early will always feel wrong. If you see yourself as not good at math, studying it will feel like fighting your nature. Imagine, you say, I'm trying to read more, versus I'm a reader. One is effort, one is identity. Your brain protects identity. It doesn't protect trying. Psychologists call this identity-based motivation. Your brain craves actions that confirm who you believe you are. The fix is stop saying you're trying to do hard things, declare what you are, and behave accordingly. But most people sabotage this next part. Number 4. Effort celebration. You celebrate results. You should celebrate effort. When you only reward yourself for outcomes, your brain learns that 99% of the work gets nothing. So why bother? You study for 3 hours, but the test is next week. No reward. You work out, but see no visible change. No reward. So your brain stops associating the behavior with pleasure. This is why motivation dies. You're training your brain that hard work equals emptiness. The fix? After every hard task, deliberately notice and celebrate that you did it, regardless of outcome. And this next one changes everything. Number 6. Progressive overload. Your brain adapts to difficulty, but only if you increase it gradually. Jumping from 0 to extreme makes your brain label the activity as threat, not challenge. And once it's coded as threat, you'll avoid it forever. You haven't exercised in months, so you sign up for a brutal boot camp. Day 1, agony. Your brain files this under never again, and you quit. Studies on neuroplasticity show your brain only adapts when difficulty increases by roughly 10% at a time. Any more triggers stress response instead of growth response. The fix? Make hard things 10% harder each week, not 100% harder on day 1. But here's what people misunderstand. Number 7. Temptation bundling. Pair hard things with things you already crave, not as a bribe, as a ritual. You love coffee. You hate deep work. So deep work only happens with that perfect coffee. Now your brain starts associating the hard task with the pleasure, and eventually the task itself becomes the cue for the good feeling. Picture. You only listen to your favorite podcast while cleaning. Over time, cleaning stops feeling like a chore because your brain anticipates the podcast reward. This is called temptation bundling, and research shows it actually rewires your motivational pathways. The fix? Find one pleasure you love and only allow it during one hard task. Never separate them. And this is the pattern nobody talks about. Number 7. Public commitment. Your brain craves consistency with your public image. When you tell people you're doing something hard, quitting means admitting failure. That social pressure becomes fuel. You announce you're running a marathon. Now every time you skip training, you're not just letting yourself down, you're contradicting what you told others you are. Psychologists call this commitment and consistency bias. Humans are wired to align behavior with public declarations to avoid cognitive dissonance. The fix is tell someone specific what hard thing you're doing and when. Vague announcements don't work. But the most powerful technique. Number 8. Reframing discomfort. Discomfort isn't a sign you should stop. It's a sign you're growing. Most people feel resistance and think this is wrong. High performers feel resistance and think this is working. Same sensation, opposite interpretation. You're lifting weights and your muscles burn. One person thinks injury, another thinks progress. The sensation is identical. The meaning changes everything. Studies on mindset show that people who view discomfort as growth literally perform better and persist longer than those who view it as suffering. The fix is when you feel discomfort during a hard task, say out loud, "This means it's working." And here's the missing piece. Number 9. Environment design. Willpower is finite. Environment is constant. If your environment makes hard things require willpower and easy things require none, you'll always lose. But if you design your space so hard things are the default, your brain stops fighting. Your phone is on your desk. Your book is in another room. Which one will you do? Your brain always picks proximity over intention. Research on decision fatigue shows that every choice drains willpower. So the goal isn't to choose hard things, it's to eliminate the choice entirely. The fix is make hard things the most accessible option in your space. Remove or hide the easy alternatives. And here's what people misunderstand. Number 10. Micro wins tracking. Your brain craves evidence of progress. Without it, effort feels meaningless. You work hard every day but see no visible change, so your brain concludes this doesn't work, and you quit. But if you track micro improvements, your brain sees proof and keeps going. You write 200 words a day. Feels like nothing, but you track it. After 30 days, you see 6,000 words written, and your brain registers this is real. Neuroscience research shows visible progress triggers dopamine release, the same chemical that makes you crave more. The fix is track one micrometric daily, reps completed, words written, minutes focused, and review it weekly. And the final unlock. Number 11. Pre-commitment devices. Remove the option to quit before you start. Your future self can't be trusted with motivation, so your present self has to eliminate escape routes. You want to wake up early, but you know you'll hit snooze. So you put your alarm across the room. Now quitting requires more effort than starting. Studies on pre-commitment show that people who lock themselves into decisions before motivation fades are exponentially more likely to follow through. The fix is before starting a hard thing, create one irreversible commitment that makes quitting harder than continuing. And here's what ties it all together. The truth. Your brain doesn't crave hard things because they're hard. It craves them because they've been paired with reward, identity, progress, and proof. Every time you do something difficult and your brain gets nothing in return, no celebration, no evidence, no meaning, you're training it to avoid that behavior. But when you remove cheap dopamine, eliminate friction, Shift your identity, celebrate effort, increase gradually, bundle pleasure, commit publicly, reframe discomfort, design your environment, track micro-wins, and pre-commit to action. You're not forcing your brain. You're teaching it. And once it learns that hard things lead to the feelings you actually want, competence, progress, pride, it stops resisting. It starts craving. If you've been relying on motivation to do hard things, you're already losing. Motivation is a feeling. Craving is a system. And systems don't care how you feel. They just work. Subscribe if you want more psychology that rewires how your brain actually operates, not how you wish it did. Because hoping you'll feel like doing hard things tomorrow is a fantasy. Building a brain that craves them is a choice.